Darkness swallowed the gang as the spectral captain's glowing green eyes hovered in the murky water. The ocean around them was silent, still watching. Shaggy's voice shook. "But can we agree that this is the worst idea ever?" Scooby whimpered. Or really bad." Fred kept his breathing steady, shining his flashlight toward the electrical cables along the ocean floor. Velma adjusted her infrared filter inside her helmet, and her screen flickered, revealing something strange. The spectral captain's form was flickering with faint distortions. "This isn't just a costume," Velma said, voice sharp. "It's a hologram. Someone's controlling it." Daphne tensed. "Then whoever's behind it is close." The spectral captain suddenly lunged forward, its hook gleaming, coat billowing in slow motion through the water. A deep, unnatural moan rumbled around them. Shaggy panicked. "It's coming for us." Fred grabbed Daphne's wrist and kicked off the seafloor. "Move!" The gang scattered, sand swirling around them. Scooby flailed wildly. Rudder ball!" Velma kept her focus on the hologram as it passed. No weight, no water displacement, no real body. "It's just a distraction," she called. "Someone doesn't want us to investigate." Fred turned to the power cable, spotting the blinking device still attached. He signaled to Daphne. "Cover me! I'm shutting it down." As Fred reached for the device, a sharp electric pulse crackled through the water. Sparks flickered, and the spectral captain glitched, its image warping, eyes flickering erratically. Velma's eyes widened, its short-circuiting. Daphne turned to see a dark figure in a wetsuit trying to escape into the shadows. "Fred, someone's getting away." Fred ripped the device from the cable, severing the ghost power source. The spectral captain froze, then vanished. The ocean was still again. Shaggy peeked through his hands. Did we win?" Scooby whimpered. Really gone?" Fred turned toward the escaping diver and narrowed his eyes. "Not yet." He pulled a harpoon launcher from his belt and fired at a floating buoy, cutting off the diver's escape path. Daphne lunged forward, grabbing onto the suspect's arm. The diver struggled, but Fred and Velma helped restrain them, forcing them down against the half-buried Atlantis Fun Park sign. Fred pulled off their diving mask. The gang gasped. Dr. Nelson Graves. Shaggy's jaw dropped. "The park engineer? But why?" Dr. Graves sighed. "You wouldn't understand." Velma crossed her arms. "Try us." Back in Flint Station, Graves sat with his arms crossed as the gang stood over him. Martha arrived with the security team, her expression unreadable. Fred folded his arms. "Start talking." Graves exhaled. "I did it because this park should never have reopened." Velma frowned. "What do you mean?" Graves clenched his fists. "Atlantis Fun Park was built on unstable ground. I was an intern when it first opened. I saw the cracks forming, the structural failures. This place isn't safe. That's why I created the Spectral Captain, to scare people away before it's too late." Daphne narrowed her eyes. "And instead of telling the truth, you staged a haunting?" Graves shook his head. "No one listens to warnings. They listen to fear." Martha sighed. "You could have just told us the risks, Nelson." Shaggy gulped. "So, can we leave now?" Scooby nodded. "All right now." Fred turned to Flint. "Looks like you're free of the Spectral Captain." Flint huffed. "Doesn't mean the ocean's done with us yet." Velma smirked. "We'll take our chances." As the mystery machine drove off toward their next destination, Shaggy leaned back. "So, next stop? Somewhere dry?" Scooby chuckled. Really dry." The gang laughed as they left another mystery solved behind them. The mystery machine cruised down the coastal highway, the last light of the sunset painting the ocean in hues of deep orange and purple. After days of investigating Atlantis Fun Park, the gang was finally heading home, leaving behind the mystery of the Spectral Captain and the sunken amusement park. Yet, the weight of the case still lingered. Shaggy leaned against the window, sighing dramatically. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think I've had enough of underwater ghost stories for life. Scooby nodded vigorously. No more ghosts. Velma scrolled through the notes on her tablet, rereading the evidence they had collected. Dr. Graves went through a lot of trouble to keep the park shut down. But the thing is, he wasn't entirely wrong. Daphne glanced at her. You mean about the park being unstable? Velma nodded. From what I read in the old maintenance reports, the structure was already showing signs of stress 20 years ago. The ocean is unpredictable. If they don't reinforce the foundation, the whole place really could collapse one day. Fred tightened his grip on the steering wheel. So, if that's true, then Graves was trying to save lives. Just in the wrong way. Daphne shook her head. Instead of scaring people away, he should have just told the truth. Maybe then, someone would have actually listened. Shaggy crossed his arms. Yeah, well, he could have just put up a danger, do not enter sign instead of throwing a ghost pirate at us. Scooby shuddered. Real scary. Velma sighed. Well, now that the truth is out, the park's owners will have to reevaluate everything before they reopen. If they ignore the risks, they might have a real disaster on their hands one day. Fred nodded. But at least we stopped Graves before anyone got hurt. And now, the spectral captain's mystery is solved. A comfortable silence settled over the gang as the mystery machine hummed along the road. The sound of the waves crashing against the cliffs in the distance was oddly calming after everything they had been through. Shaggy suddenly sat up straight, his stomach grumbling loudly. Like, speaking of solved mysteries. That means it's time for our reward, right? Scooby's ears perked up. Reward? Fred smirked. Let me guess. Food. Shaggy pointed dramatically. Not just any food. A feast to celebrate our survival. I was thinking of a giant plate of fish and chips. Scooby let out a terrified yelp, shaking his head wildly. No fish. Shaggy blinked. Oh, right? Too soon? The gang burst into laughter, the tension of the last few days finally easing. Daphne leaned back, smiling. I say we let Scooby pick dinner this time. Scooby's tail wagged. Ravioli. Fred chuckled. All right, Scooby, ravioli it is. As the mystery machine rolled down the highway, the gang left another mystery solved behind them. But one thing was certain. There would always be another mystery waiting just around the corner. And for the members of Mystery Inc., that was exactly how they liked it.
Trembling knees are weak, but a Scooby snack will do the trick. Scooby-Doo, Roo-Row, where are you? Monsters, ghosts, and clues to pursue. Zoinks and Jinkies, what will we do? Stick with the gang, we'll pull it through.